about the next movement and give cues throughout for modifications. First, we're gonna start laying down on our backs, and we're gonna start with belly breaths. So, placing the hand on the belly, take a nice big breath in, feel your belly expand, and relax. We're gonna keep going through this breath as our first exercise. Breath in, and out. Keep going at your own pace. We always want to start by stimulating the lymph nodes that are in your abdomen, as there are a lot of them. All of the fluid through your legs have to go through the abdomen, through these lymph nodes, then get out of the area. So we want to make sure that we're getting these areas stimulated. 10 more seconds of breathing. Good. And relax. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do core and trunk rotation. So feet are on the ground, legs are bent, and we're going to go back and forth side to side. So let both legs fall over one way, and then come back to the middle, and then go the other way. You're going to go back and forth at your own pace. Make sure to keep your core somewhat engaged. You're not arching too far into your low back. We're just trying to get some stimulation of the core muscles. You are over halfway. Five seconds. And relax. So next what we're going to do is we're going to do leg circles. And so we want to try to put the legs up in the air. If you can do both at the same time, that's great. Some people will have to do half and half. And what we're going to do is do large circles. If that is too hard on the core and the back, we'll put one leg down and just do one leg at a time. And I'll let you know when to switch. You can go one direction and the other. And then if you are doing one leg, you go ahead and switch right now. Other leg up in the air and do circles. You can switch directions. Try to keep that little core engaged so your back is not arched up. And then relax. Next, what we're going to do is a bridge, and so you're going to have your feet underneath you, legs are bent, core is engaged, so you have a little bit of pelvic tilt on, and then we're going to end up lifting our hips up and down and relax in repetition with that. So when we're ready, go ahead and lift your hips up, feel your glutes squeeze, and come down, and up, and down. You want to make sure that you don't just arch into your low back to try to get higher. You really want to make sure you have your pelvic tilt. Just lift as far as your hips will let you, and then come back down. Squeeze your hips to the top and control back down. If you do have any back pain, try not lifting as far. And again, remember to have that pelvic tilt on so your back is flat and just using your hips to lift. And relax. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to march the leg up, kick it straight up, come back down, and then switch. So march up, kick, down, and down. Going back and forth for the 45 seconds. So march, kick, down, and down. March, kick, down, and down. Back and forth. Getting the thighs to pump and the lower legs to start pumping, but also working with gravity to get that fluid moving out of the legs. Making sure that your back is nice and flat to the mat and not arching up. You're under 10 seconds. And relax. Next, Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do hamstring flossing or nerve glides. So we'll end up holding behind the knee if we can. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna straighten the knee and back down. Okay, the other leg can be bent for back support or it can be straight, whatever's more comfortable. But we are beginning, so we're gonna do half way and then we'll switch legs. So up and down. We wanna try to hold the hip at about 90 degrees. You don't need to hold really high. Okay, keep the arm straight, bend and straighten the knee. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch legs. Same thing on the other side. Straighten and bend. You will feel tension behind the thigh. That is what we call nerve tension usually. It also can be hamstring tightness, but either way, nice and gentle. This will get some good mobility, but also muscle pump for the lymphatics. And relax. Next, what we're gonna do is ankles. And so if you have, you're getting back getting sore, your core is getting sore, instead of having your legs up and pumping your ankles, we can keep them down by your sides. But if you can, it'd be nice to get some gravity and have your ankles and your feet are in the air, and we're just gonna add ankle pumps. Again, if this gets to be too much, we'll just put them down on the ground, back stays flat, up on the toes, pull the ankles or the heels up and down. You can also do this with straight legs if needed, up and down with ankle pumps. Last 15 seconds. You can also do ankle circles if you want. We just want the ankles pumping. And relax. Good. Now that we've made our way all the way down, we're gonna make our way back up. We went from the top to the bottom to decongest the area, and now we're gonna work our way back up to get the fluid moving the rest of the way. So we're gonna go back to the hamstring. So we're gonna take one leg, hand behind, straighten the knee, and bend the knee, back and forth. Straighten and bend. And then what we're gonna do now is go ahead and put your leg down, other leg, switch, same thing. Straighten and bend, supporting behind the knee. If you have any knee pain with this, just don't go very high. Keep it nice and short, otherwise full range of motion if we can. The last 5 seconds. Good, and relax. We're gonna go back to the march and the kick. And so what we're gonna do, march, kick, down and down. Going back and forth between the two sides, alternating, or you can do all on one side, switch halfway if you want. But I'm gonna go with alternating, so march up, kick, down, down. March, kick, down, down. Keep going. Can check your back, make sure your back is nice and flat to the mat, not arching up. You are halfway, so if you are doing one leg at a time, you should be switching now. Otherwise, keep alternating. March, straighten, bend, down. March, straighten, bend, down. Last few seconds, and relax. Okay, we're gonna go back into the bridges, okay? Make sure you have your pelvic tilt. So we don't wanna arch back, we wanna have a flat back, keep that core engaged, and then we'll lift our hips up, off the mat, and back down. Make sure that you check your posture each time. So here we go. So pelvic tilt, lift, down, relax. So tilt, up, down. You are welcome to hold a little bit longer at the top if you want a little bit more strength, but we want to try to keep moving because we're working on muscle pump. That's what is utilized to help with the lymphatic pumps. As the muscle pumps, it gives some compression to help with the valves of the lymphatics. Nice easy pace, last 10 seconds. And relax. relax. Good. We're going to go back to the leg circles. So again, if able to keep the core engaged and the back flat, we can do both legs at the same time, but for many, likely we'll end up doing just one leg at a time. So one leg in the air, other one bent, keep that back flat. We're just going to do nice large circles with the hip. If the back starts to come up, recheck, re-flatten it. I'm going to switch directions. And then go ahead and switch legs. If this is too challenging even to hold the leg up, this can be done lower or even on the bolster, like half supported by the knee, like we talked about before, using the bolster. That would work as well. But as much gravity support as we can, working the low core and the hip muscles, and relax. We're going to go back to the rotation of the trunk, and so letting the legs fall over one way, coming back, and then the other direction. So here we go, and go ahead and start. So go one way, back to the middle, and then the other way. Back and forth, nice and controlled. Still try to be aware of your back posture, not arching into the back, but rather having the core engaged and just using your oblique muscles, the side core muscles, back and forth. You are in your last 20 seconds before we are done. What we're going to do with our last little bit of rest in 3 seconds is to take 2 big belly breaths. So big breath in and out. Good. One more. Big breath in and out. And that's a simple 12-minute routine for leg swelling and lymphedema. Again, the major components are any sort of movement or muscle pump helps get the fluid moving up and out with the help of the valves. Along with that, we want as much elevation as possible so that gravity plays a role. And then if someone has compression garments or compression stockings, that's also great to have on during this time, because the compression with the exercise and the elevation is going to be the best thing for the lymphatics. Again, if you want to see the other exercise videos I've created, feel free to check out the playlist, subscribe down below to see when the next one comes out, and I will see you all next week for another video. Thanks, everyone.